And now, the After the Bell podcast with Bill Neville, Lee Morgan, and Corey Ponce.
On Ustream can see that, but this is the music of the brand new, most incredible superstar I've ever seen, straight out of a 1990s Batman movie. One Stardust. What do you guys think of that debut?
At first, when he came out, I was skeptical, but the way he was all in on it, I thought it was pretty awesome.
I think it's fantastic. And the fact that Goldust couldn't find a partner to win with, and all of a sudden Cody shows up in Goldust drag one day, and it was awesome.
I thought he was going to come out with his whole clear mask kind of thing.
Oh, God.
And then he came out in like one of his old suits.
That was one of the worst gimmicks
Yeah,
ever.
I know.
When he had his face maimed, or when he was dashing Cody
Changed his
Rhodes.
music to like, whoa.
It sounded like he turned the pitch way down, and just, when like an old record would stop playing, it was like. So welcome everybody to the After the Bell podcast, live on Ustream for the second time. Welcome everybody. We have a lot to talk about today. A lot's happened in the last couple of weeks since we've done our last show. First and foremost, let's talk about the purge that WWE had. The 12, I believe it was 12, right? Firings that took place on June 12th. Let's see. Let's go through the list here. We have Drew McIntyre, which is pretty shocking, I thought. Jinder Mahal, Oksana, Kurt Hawkins, Teddy Long, playa, Camacho, which is pretty shocking because you don't see NXT guys getting fired.
Exactly, considering he was in a big feud right now, too. So.
Right. Maybe they just saw nothing out of him. I don't know. Brodus Clay, the Funkasaurus, or Ryan Villard, as we like to say. Corey would get that. I don't think Lee would. But Ryan is and I'm going to give you a shout out, Ryan. Hopefully you're watching or maybe listening to the podcast one of these days. But one of our friends from high school looked exactly like Brodus Clay, and it was pretty funny. Anyway, Evan Bourne, kind of shocking, but he hadn't been on TV for a while after he had a horrific car accident, I guess. He broke his leg in like 97 pieces. Yoshi Tatsu. I'm just going to miss the music because it reminded me of like mid-90s Nintendo. Mark Harris, who is a referee. And, of course, the legendary JTG is gone from the company as well. I don't think anybody even remembered that he was signed by WWE.
When's the last time he was on TV? It's been years.
I forget what the date was. You may know.
I'm pretty sure he was in the Rosebuds group.
Really?
At one point, yes, he was.
Oh, God. Speaking of that, what are your thoughts on the...
Stop.
I can't...
No.
I want to laugh, but I can't bring myself to laugh. That bunny is scary as hell.
It is.
Why can't you go back to like the South African hunter angle gimmick that he had? The Rosebud. Yeah, Kruger was cool. This is not doing it.
I don't understand what they're trying to do with Adam Rose. I get that he has a song that's catchy as holy hell, and everyone's singing it, and pretty much the only reason why he's over right now is these idiots that are out there dancing with him, and then and the music that the crowd is singing along to, which is obviously great because we were having a discussion before we went on that how theme music is so important, and how Seth Rollins' new theme I don't like it at all. What is it, a bike beforehand, or is that Ambrose's new theme?
That's Ambrose.
That's like a 10-second rev of a bike before the music even starts. It's just wasted. It's like, oh God, it's like Cesaro's horn or siren.
I actually don't mind Ambrose's new theme.
Really?
Yeah. I
I'm
think
not a
it
fan.
fits him. because he wears like the leather jacket and the baggy jeans and stuff.
I do like how Roman Reigns is keeping a version of the Shield theme song, except without the Sierra Hotel whatever at the beginning.
I feel like Jim Johnson has a file. It's like 37 generic rock tunes when somebody breaks out of a group or something. He's all right. Yeah,
Pretty
here,
much.
number 5. They all sound the same.
5 of them were used by Wade Barrett before he settled on God Save the Queen.
I love that one.
I love Wade Barrett's theme song. I think it's great. And you go, boom. Let's see here. Who was the most shocking firing to you guys?
McIntyre.
Okay, and why is that?
I really liked him when he was by himself.
Mm-hmm.
His whole Scottish character kind
Speaking
of warrior.
Speaking of great theme songs, he had a great theme song when he was by himself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, he did.
Out of time, not say goodbye,
and I feel broken dreams. I don't know the next line. Makes me something. I don't know.
Come true. I think it's something like that.
Yeah, it is something like that. That song's so cool.
Makes them come true. Broken dreams.
Yeah,
that fits, right?
Hey, I'll take it.
Yes. I agree. Drew McIntyre was definitely the most shocking firing. I think the next one was probably Evan Bourne because I feel like he, especially on Twitter, he's very active on Twitter, where he was kind of telling people how he was doing with his recovery, how he was making a push to return to WWE, and it seemed like he was very close to having a return, and then all of a sudden, bang, he's gone. Future endeavored.
Well, he got injured, right? Then didn't he have 2 drug wellness policy fails with like that fake weed stuff?
But then again, how many did Orton have?
Yeah, like 5.
Although they rewrote the Constitution for the wellness policy so Orton could stay on forever.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it like if he goes a year without one, then it refreshes or something?
Something like that, yeah. I don't know. Gotta love it.
Oh, Randall.
Changing the rules on the go. How about after Kurt Hawkins was let go and Mark Henry? What is that? When you get we just got a tweet from Turnbuckle Magazine. I'm trying to figure out what that says. When you get that gift, they're referring to your picture that you posted.
Oh.
You retweeted the picture that Lee posted that said we are live, and it's a picture of Bray Wyatt doing like this kid on Christmas morning face.
That's beautiful.
And Turnbuckle Magazine says, when you get that gift you really wanted. As me, like, I don't know, 8 years ago or whenever Xbox 360 came out, that was my face. Let's see. Like I was saying, Kurt Hawkins and Mark Henry. So, obviously Kurt Hawkins was on the list that we just read, and he was let go and future endeavored, and he's obviously got like 9 million different bookings and whatnot too. He was plugging the hell out of himself as soon as he was fired. But I guess Mark Henry posted a photo of himself saying 18 years with the company and still here. And Kurt Hawkins took that as a slight to him, and Kurt Hawkins wrote to Mark Henry, and he says, your colleagues just lost your job, you're a dick, or something like that.
What?
Yeah, I'm glad he did that.
I get why he did it. I mean, I think Mark Henry should have really reworded what he was saying.
It was bad timing.
It was very bad timing, especially after 12 firings.
But there's definitely no malice in his tweet.
No,
not at all.
I mean, that's what he does. Let's be honest here.
But I can totally see Kurt Hawkins' side of the story too, where
for sure,
where he'd be offended by that.
He should be tweeting at Tyler Rex. I mean, they're about to get that pushed, and Rex quit, right? So this is really Tyler's fault.
Tyler Rex, whatever happened to him?
He owns some cars. I was trying to think of the podcast I heard him on. He owns like a new
up and
company
quit
or
one
something.
day, right?
Yeah, he just like, I don't need. I mean, in his defense, he was like, I need to spend time with my daughter. So I mean, you can't really knock somebody for that. But I think he has some other venture he's doing right now, and I'm pretty sure he still has that crazy hair.
Right. Let's see here. Going through my list of things to go over. How about the videos that are being posted on Instagram and whatnot of Paige and Emma? Have you guys seen those?
Yeah, love them.
I think it's
Two of my
fantastic.
faves.
It's kind of, it could be foreshadowing for a match, but we're not really sure, obviously. But it's pretty funny. Paige and Emma are talking backstage, and the Divas Championship is just sitting on the table next to them, and Emma's being all sweet and Australian like she always is, and she goes to touch the title, and Paige goes, "No, you can't touch that." And I think it's great because those two had incredible matches in NXT, and if we get to see Paige versus Emma for the Divas title someday, I think that would be great.
It would be.
That'd be awesome. There was another video, too, where Paige is like, where's my jacket? Anybody see my jacket? And like Emma's wearing it and running away. Anyone see that one?
Two of the greatest accents ever, English and Australian.
Yeah, same as I'm concerned, as far as I'm concerned.
They're slightly different. You can definitely tell.
Well,
like, he's not shrimp on the babby.
My impression of them both are the same. I can do a better
That's Australian.
than English.
Do your bad news for us.
I've got a bit of bad news. That's it.
Fantastic. What was the other impression that we had the last show that you were doing? You said you were really good at? I can't remember.
Triple H, Vince, and Hogan, those are all the same voice.
That's
I
right.
don't know
That's
if
right. Yeah.
what you're referring to.
Your Triple H is spot on. Just come up with something to say with Triple H's voice.
I'll just go to my favorite promo of his ever. You know what happens when you cut the tail off a dog? It dies. Then, of course, when Brock broke his arm, quote-unquote broke his arm, and Big Show's walking him out, and he's like, he broke it clean. I'm telling you, clean.
Perfect. Thank you, Hunter. Or Paul Levesque, shall I say. Mr. COO.
That's right.
Guys, next Sunday, obviously not tomorrow, but next Sunday, Money in the Bank comes to TD Garden in Boston. And next Sunday, as WWE takes over Boston for Money in the Bank, so will the ATB Wrestling crew. Be on the lookout for myself, look out for Lee and Corey somewhere around TD Garden. We're in the midst of planning something right now. But look out for us for your chance to voice your opinion on the next episode of the After the Bell podcast. So be sure to look for us somewhere outside the Garden. We'll be sure to hint to you guys where we are.
Right, and if we can't end up doing a podcast, we'll be smashing stews somewhere. So
exactly, and we'll still get some
have a
audio
beer with us.
So if you want to be part of the After the Bell podcast and you want to give your predictions and whatnot, or give your predictions, and we'll play some sort of game that I'll come up with this week for one of our new After the Bell T-shirts. If you guys haven't seen already on our Facebook page and our Twitter, we have new T-shirts. They cost $20, and on the front it says "Eat, Sleep, ATB, Repeat," and on the back is our logos and our Twitter handle and whatnot. So if you guys are interested in that, shoot us a message on Twitter, and we'll figure out a way to get you a shirt and figure out a way to get me the $20. All right, moving on.
Let me just quickly amend.
Yes,
if you don't want to get a beer, feel free to get a Coke or a water.
This is also true.
We are sponsors of the straight edge lifestyle, or just the no drinking lifestyle. We're not here to pressure anybody. So
No.
let me just put
Peer
that
pressure
out
is
there.
bad. We don't
Real
be a
bad.
star.
Yeah, exactly. Be a star.
Were you going to say something?
Nope.
Your eyes were
Be a star.
Your eyes were open like you were going to say something.
I say, I quote "be a star" a lot on Twitter.
Gotcha.
Yep.
For those of you who don't follow Lee yet, she changed her Twitter handle. It's no longer WWE _ LCM. What is it now?
Heel _ LCM.
So Lee had a heel turn.
I did.
Corey and I are still on the face. We're not really tweeners. We're definitely faces.
Everyone needs a heel in their group.
This is true. All right, moving on. The rumors are swirling around. This is not TMZ, and I don't really like talking about this kind of stuff, but this is kind of crazy. Regarding Phil Brooks and AJ, according to Bleacher Report, AJ might be pregnant and not returning to WWE anytime soon. Interesting.
Wow.
I don't know.
I tend to never believe what Bleacher Report says.
That's what I meant to preface with that.
They're the ones that got the push notifications like, Vince McMahon loses $900 billion.
Yeah.
Now they want the board to be, everyone fired.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, McMahon owns the company. How can they make people fire the board?
Did they come up with the rumor that AMC was going to buy WWE too?
EMC?
Yeah, I think AMC.
AMC, the
AMC.
TV station.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like the cloud storage company.
No.
I was like, I don't know if that'll work.
No, like Walking Dead and that station.
Carl. Anybody watch Walking Dead? It's my
Anybody?
Rick impression.
Yep, that was great.
Any 8 of you watch it? Actually 7, because I'm watching it right now.
It says 9 on my side.
Ooh.
One more than usual. I don't know what to think of that. You can never believe anything you really see on the dirt sheets or Bleacher Report for that matter. But if that is true and we won't see AJ for a while, it's kind of sad because I was really looking forward to AJ returning and feuding with Paige.
I know. That
Yeah,
would have been great.
Because that would have been a fantastic rivalry.
AJ is my favorite Devo. It'll be too bad if she's away. I mean, I think we might have talked about this before. Being pregnant as an active diva is kind of unprecedented. I guess Karma was pregnant, but I think she was also getting released or something while it happened.
Karma.
Yeah.
They found out she was pregnant after she was getting her push, and then
Right.
she took maternity leave, and I think got fired or released or something while she was on, and then she ended up losing her baby.
Yeah.
It's nothing to laugh about, but it's like she ended up losing her baby, so it was just a kick in the nuts for about a year straight for her.
Yeah, so I don't... It's funny because there's no precedent for it, so I wonder if AJ will be able to come back or she'll just retire to the hermit lifestyle with Mr. Brooks.
I don't know.
Well, that wrestling company that we don't talk about, TNA.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, that
Tits
one.
and ass.
Yep. A girl actually just came back from maternity leave. So.
Oh, okay.
Who's that?
There it is.
Taryn something. I don't know.
Oh, is that the one that was dating somebody from WWE?
Oh, wasn't she married
know.
to Drew McIntyre?
That's who it was.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And that's why his push kind of stopped or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Charlotte, her husband is in TNA.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who's her husband?
I don't know. I just started watching TNA again.
Yeah,
Ethan Carter 3.
Probably.
I can honestly say I've seen probably 2 episodes of Impact Wrestling.
Yeah.
No interest.
I just skimmed through it.
I could have got tickets for Slammiversary when it was at the Agganis Arena last year and had no desire to go. And I saw pictures from the show, and there was on the camera side there was literally no fans. So the half of the arena was empty on the camera side, and they put everybody else on the other side. So it was kind of funny.
Yeah, it almost feels like ROH has kind of surpassed them as the second company because
Yeah.
they're having their first pay-per-view this Sunday, I
know.
believe.
I'm excited for it.
And it's called Best in the World. Is
Yep.
CM Punk coming back to that?
Oh, let the rumors fly. Corey Ponce, you heard it here first.
Yep.
CM Punk possibly going to Ring of Honor.
And I know I'm the first one with that kind of scoop.
He threatened to bring the WWE Championship to Ring of Honor during his little
did.
spiel in Las Vegas a couple years ago.
Hi, Cole Cabana.
Breaking down the fourth wall. Let's see here. Thoughts on Stardust? I know we discussed it at the beginning of the show with opening up with his theme, but what are your thoughts as far as Cody Rhodes' career going forwards as
Well,
Stardust?
considering they changed Cody Rhodes' roster, whatever, image on WWE.com to Stardust, I'm pretty sure they're keeping it for a while.
That's I love it. I think it's great. And the shit eating grin he had when he moved his hands with the star, he literally looked like something out of
So creepy.
like the Val Kilmer Batman of the 90s.
Yeah, it was great. And I was actually listening to the Masked Man's podcast.
I was listening to that too.
He said that it's kind of like a throwback to, I don't know what the game's called, like some Nintendo game. I think it might just be called Pro Wrestling, and there's a guy named Starman, and he had that kind of same makeup. So it's kind of a callback to that too, which I think is pretty cool.
Interesting. I love that podcast, by the way. Cheap Heat.
Oh, that's my favorite podcast.
It's awesome. I was listening to the new one yesterday, I think it was. They come out every Thursday.
Yeah, yeah. My dreams have Dave Shoemaker on this podcast.
And Rosenberg's pretty good, too. He's
Yeah,
the one
Rosenberg's
that's
cool.
in the interviews that I sent you from WrestleMania Radio Row.
Yeah.
The guy who was interviewing all the superstars. Yeah, he's really good. But Shoemaker is great. I wonder if they're coming to Money in the Bank, because they're in New York.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Maybe we should reach out to them and see if they're going to come to the show.
That'd be cool.
That would be very cool. I reached out to Justin LeBar from WrestleZone too, just in case we were doing our podcast, and he said he would like to possibly
That'd be sweet.
come on, which would be cool. And obviously, if he promoted us, that'd be even better.
Enormous, yes.
He's got something like 19,000 followers or something,
Oh,
and he's verified with the blue check.
Well, I mean, I have 251, so it's like the same thing.
And I have 7 something, and don't even say anything because
I won't.
you're a cheater.
I won't.
Being a girl on Twitter
I'm a heel.
is a cheater.
I cheat.
A girl wrestling
is true.
fan is like,
This is true.
you know.
I'll definitely agree with that.
Lee,
I
how-
get some really weird messages.
Oh, God.
Lee, how many followers do you have?
28,000.
Whoa!
28,000.
Jesus.
2,800.
Come on, exaggeration. King over here.
2,800.
2,800. That's impressive. I can only imagine the DMs you must
I've
get.
blocked a lot of people.
We
Yeah.
should start a segment of like creepy DMs, just publicly
We
blasting these
I can
creeps
pull
that try
them
to
up
say
right
stuff.
now.
Pull them up right now. Let's do it. Not anything vulgar or
then I can't.
disgusting. I want to be with you. I want to turn heel with you. Let's see here. All right, let's go to Money in the Bank. Now that we know that there's going to be 2 not Money in the Bank ladder matches, but there's going to be 2 ladder matches. One for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship with 7 entrants so far, And let's go through those entrants. We have Roman Reigns. We have John Cena. We have Sheamus, Del Rio, which I still don't understand why he beat Ziggler in that qualifying match a couple weeks ago. Who else do we have? Bray Wyatt. Did I say Roman Reigns already?
Yep.
You could say him again. It's okay.
Roman Reigns. Who else do we have? I can't remember. Randy Orton and Sheamus.
Oh, that's right.
That's who it is. So, who comes out of this match at Money in the Bank? What are you guys thinking?
Well, fantasy booking.
Fantasy booking, and I know.
Roman
I think I know
Reigns.
where you're going here.
Yeah.
Because we discussed this off the cuff or off the After the Bell podcast.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns winning the match.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been on a roll. He won the Battle Royal on Monday. He won the single-handedly, pretty much won the 7-man match last night on SmackDown. I actually watched SmackDown for the first time in probably 2-3 years. Aside from going, that's probably the first time I've seen SmackDown in full at the time it was on. Roman Reigns just single-handedly just whooped everybody's ass at the end of that match and was the one standing tall at the end, and all signs are pointing to him going over and taking the titles. Now, in the Money in the Bank ladder match for the briefcase and the number one contendership, there's only one entrant, correct? As of now,
one so far,
and it's Seth Rollins.
yes.
And the rest of those are going to be qualifying this Monday, correct?
I think they're just having a contract signing. I think they already know who it is. I don't think they're having
really?
qualifying matches.
I thought I saw something on SmackDown that said this Monday, and there was like 6 empty body spots on the the graphic. I don't know. I might be wrong.
We'll see.
There's got to be some way to figure out who's going to be in that match, though.
Got to figure Ziggler, Ambrose, Kane, probably Kofi.
Mm-hmm.
How many is that? 5?
Yep.
Bad News Barrett,
Yeah, probably Bad News Barrett.
Yep.
RVD,
Oh yeah, RVD.
Probably.
Rusev.
So you think we're going to have 8 in the?
No, 7.
How many did we just
I
have?
think we
I don't
marked
know.
down like 6.
Oh, maybe I can't count.
I don't know.
It's Saturday. I'm off.
I think they might do everybody who competed against one of the guys that entered into the
Oh, okay.
title match.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and lost.
So fantasy booking, Lee and I were talking about the other day. Ideally, the briefcase match would kick off the pay-per-view in Boston at TD Garden, and Seth Rollins would win the briefcase, and then Roman Reigns would win the titles at the end of the show, and Seth Rollins would try or maybe actually cash in.
Cash in.
You think he would beat Reigns
He could.
first try? Wouldn't that kill Reigns' momentum, though?
No, it set up for a great feud.
Unless
Figure like Orton or Triple H come down and screw him somehow.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that. So you figure there'd be some sort of interference that
Yeah.
Reigns is left laying in the ring, and then all of a sudden, whatever music Seth Rollins is using that night hits.
And nobody recognizes it.
I hope Vince comes out though. That'd be awesome, just like he did with Edge at New Year's Revolution in 2000.
Oh, that was
I'm
so
just
Gentlemen,
cool.
is cashing in his Money in the Bank briefcase right now.
Yeah. I like that angle. I like that finish. But for me, I'd like to see the Shield kind of feud with each other for honestly a year. But the only problem is I don't know who you put the titles on. I don't think it should be Sheamus. I mean, when all else fails, there's always Cena. But I don't know. My super duper fantasy booking is Ziggler wins the Money in the Bank, then cashes in. But
God, I hope so.
But there's no chance because I don't know why.
Maybe he's out of the doghouse finally. He beat Bad News Barrett on SmackDown.
Oh, did
last
he?
night.
Was it clean?
Yeah,
it was.
Oh,
that was a
alright.
good
a surprise
match.
roll up.
Yep.
It was nice.
Did Triple H come out and kick Barrett in the balls after?
No,
Too bad.
unfortunately, I do love Wade Barrett's gimmick though.
I heard that Dolph Ziggler isn't getting a push because he's prone to injury.
Who isn't on
And
that roster
head
isn't
injuries.
prone to injury?
Well, he's had a lot of
I know he
concussions.
has had a lot of injuries, but I mean the stuff that these guys do, especially guys like Seth Rollins and Ambrose. I mean, Christ, Ambrose, he's had his head hacked open by what's his face,
That's why
Brain
he's a
damage.
brain
a
damage. I
lunatic.
mean, talk about a guy who's possibly prone to injury. I mean,
Yep.
the guy's had his head cut open on countless occasions.
Hey, you know why guys are prone to injury in WWE? Because they work 900 days a year with no off season and no breaks. So
Literally.
maybe everybody's prone to injury. I heard it's because he not oversells, but he sells everything like to the max and doesn't wait for the high spots to sell things, and that they're telling him not to, but he still does.
But it makes him that much more fun to
Exactly.
watch.
That's what we
And
like.
Everybody loves him.
and
Yeah.
he makes guys look really good.
Yep.
I mean, he gets Superman. I want to see it someday. I want to see him get Superman punched by Roman Reigns and just see him do like a backflip and land on his
Fly into the
face.
Titantron.
Just hook him up on like some wires or something and just hit him and just shoot him up to the ceiling. Ziggler is so much fun to watch, and I was genuinely really pissed off when he lost to Del Rio in the qualifying match. I mean, I thought for a second there, I mean, there's rumors of Del Rio leaving and when his contract's up and whatnot. So what's the point of putting him in the ladder match for the world title? So why can't you have Ziggler go over him in that match?
I don't know. I don't understand. I don't think anybody, like, if you polled the WWE universe, I don't think, like, what percentage of people would rather see Del Rio in that match than Ziggler? Like, just Del Rio's family? Like, just, are Mexican fans
Mexicans.
even behind him? Like, I don't
No,
even know.
I don't think so.
Supposedly, that's what they keep saying on the air.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't wait for the pop for Ziggler at Money in the Bank, because Boston is very, very pro Ziggler.
Mm-hmm.
His first appearance as World Heavyweight Champion after the Raw, where he won it after WrestleMania, was at TD Garden in Boston, and he had a match and where he got a concussion and then all of a sudden had to drop the title.
Yeah.
So I forget who he was fighting. It was Jericho
Yeah,
in
it
that
was.
match, and I think he landed on his head from
Yes.
the top rope, and that's not Ziggler's fault.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a botched leg drop or something like that from Jericho, and you could just see Ziggler was down, and he was just like, whoa, hello, I don't know where I am right now. But that is not Ziggler's fault by any means, and the argument that guys are injury prone is just asinine. I can't stand it. Like, there's a reason why when you watch like a WWE DVD or something like that, where there's a warning with that emergency music, and it's like, don't try this at home. This is really dangerous. Trained professionals, blah, blah, blah. Dolph Ziggler's a trained professional. He's going to do what he's going to do. Guys get hurt. They say it themselves. Guys get hurt. It happens. Sometimes you land the wrong way. I mean, look at Triple H has torn his quad off twice because he landed on his leg the wrong way. And it's going to happen. These guys...
Might have been another factor as why your muscle just rips completely off your bone. I'm not going to say anything, but come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, landing awkwardly on his leg
Yeah.
twice, and it caused it to actually happen.
Were you watching New Year's Revolution when that happened?
Yes.
Like, he tears it, and like Orton runs in with the chair, then he like sees what happens, and he just runs out and doesn't do anything.
Yes, that was great. And he still got up both times and finished the match that he was in, which is mighty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, toughness is never. I think, did you ever watch the Kingdom Come
I did.
DVD?
It was awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome.
I didn't know he was from around this area.
Yeah, New Hampshire, right?
I always thought he was just from Greenwich, but I thought they billed him from Boston when he was
Yeah,
coming
they
up.
did.
What was his name? Like the
Terrorizing.
Terrorizing. That's what it was.
Terrorizing.
When he was fighting in New Hampshire, he was being billed from Boston. Well, that's kind of cool.
I want to make a terrorizing sign for Money in the Bank.
I saw one.
So did I.
Where was that? Was that at Payback?
It was.
I started laughing when I saw that.
Not to go off on a complete tangent, but watching the old school wrestling, the signs in the stands are so funny. It was
like Attitude Era?
no, but like
Or before that?
pre-attitude.
Okay.
I was watching. It was like Adam Bomb versus Bobby Binginson, like in the local jobber, and people were holding signs like Adam Bomb number one, Adam Bomb.
The creativity
Sweet,
was sky
yeah.
high. The Attitude Era signs were great too. Literally everyone in the crowd had a sign in the Attitude Era. I mean,
Yeah.
When Raw or SmackDown or a pay-per-view used to go on the air and you couldn't see faces, all you saw was signs.
Like my sign at WrestleMania 14, Ponce 316, and then on the back Tyson bites. And like, of course, that had been like 1,000 million signs going up to it. My dad was like, "Wow, like real creative, Core. Like, good job." I was like, "Yeah, I made it up."
All the way back in 1998, I was
Yeah.
there too, sitting
Yeah.
301 row 1.
That was awesome.
That was fun.
You guys are awesome.
Were you there too, Lee?
No.
Were you born yet, Lee?
Yes, I was. Thank you. I was 7.
So you should have been there then.
I should have.
Were you watching it back then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was 7 though.
That was a really cool setup of the Garden too. I've never seen it like that before. That was really cool. How obviously it was 1998 and I was 11, but I still remember vividly to this day. There was no set, and it was just like a little tunnel in the corner, and the lights were on inside the Garden. Like it wasn't blacked out like it normally is, and the whole place was just completely packed, and it was really cool looking. And I wish they would do that again.
And they had that little blimp flying around,
Yeah.
the WrestleMania 14 blimp.
Yeah, and they still had the old ghetto looking padding and the the metal gates around the ring. Then they didn't have the suave looking black padded banisters, whatever they're called. I'd like to go to one of those old school Raws that they have once a year. I'd like to go to that one time just to see like the old set, and like to have a blue steel cage match, which would be pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
What else is going on, guys?
Just another quick aside to my favorite ever sign was SmackDown, probably 2012, during Daniel Bryan's heel run. Someone in the stands just had a picture of Daniel Bryan in a fry later thing, and just said Daniel Fryin. I thought that was the best one ever.
What's your favorite sign? I got to think of one, but if you have one on the top of your head,
I don't have one on the top of my head.
Rick
so
Rick
many.
the sign guy makes some pretty good ones.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. He's very creative.
That guy goes to like 75 events a year. Like, how do you afford that? He must have hit the lottery at some point.
He was on Deal or No Deal.
I know, but
It should have run up by now.
Yeah, I mean, what did he make? Like probably $50,000 off of that. What did he end up winning?
Taxes, probably.
Do you remember what he ended up winning?
It was like 100 and something thousand.
I'm sure he has a contact at WWE by now.
Yeah.
Because not only is he going to these events, but he's sitting like within the first 2 or 3 rows every single time, and that's not cheap.
Yeah.
He was in the Providence house show last night. That's a couple of people went to that, and I saw on his Twitter. Yes, I do follow him. He's got like 50,000 followers. That's insane.
Power of the universe, right there.
Right, and just being on TV with his red hat backwards and his blue mechanic shirt and white T-shirt or whatever else he wears. But I guess maybe we should come up with a gimmick like that. Just try to get to go to wrestling events all over the country.
Awesome.
I can't afford it though. I mean, luckily I have a hookup at work where sometimes I can get tickets, but it would be crazy to go to that many shows. I don't even think I'd want to go to that many shows, to be honest with you. Especially the house shows. I mean, it would be cool to go like all over the world and all over the country to go to TV every week. That'd be kind of cool. But the house shows are so generic. I went to one back in March in New Jersey, and there was title matches and steel cage matches, but you knew who was going to win, and the face pretty much went over in every single match, and you knew there wasn't going to be a title change. And it's cool to see and be a part of the live events, but when you know exactly what's going to happen, it's not nearly as fun.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just got a quick tweet here from Jimmy Norris. Who has a better Superman punch, you or Roman Reigns? Well, Jimmy, I'd say Roman Reigns has the better Superman punch, but as you can remember, my special move was the spinning slash kick. So I put my slash kick up against Roman Reigns as any type of offense. So
I think we need to make that happen.
Yeah, Roman, are you listening?
CT Corey Ponce versus Roman Reigns. Main event of whatever the next pay-per-view in Boston is.
That'd be great. Even if he just wants to spear me through a table, down. I'll sign any waiver.
Just a 6-second job.
Oh, yeah.
Just you just being yourself and just playing to the crowd and putting your hands up, and you turn around into the spear, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I would lift so many weights before that event, too. I would be jacked.
Oh, yes. I love it. We are on 34 minutes.
Rusev's character, I hate it. Just so you know.
I can't. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that gimmick either. The whole getting guys to job to you winning streak thing is so played out. They did it with Ryback. They did it with Goldberg back in the day, and it's not believable anymore. And his character is not even remotely over, and Lana is far more over than he is. It's kind of turning into sort of. Obviously not the same style, but sort of the same thing that happened with Alberto Del Rio, where he was super over when Ricardo was with him. But as soon as Ricardo was gone, Del Rio, you could hear a pin drop in the arena.
Yeah.
Whenever he comes out. I do like Lana, though. I do enjoy her character. I can't stand the accent. It's kind of annoying. But a good valet is great. Whenever you have a beautiful female who can talk for their character, which is always good.
Yeah, I wish he was taller. It's like he's built as this monster, but Zack Ryder was like 2 inches taller than him.
Mm.
But I mean, he still is an absolute beast. He moves well in the ring. It's just like, I don't know. There's something missing right now from him.
Yeah, the whole 10-minute speech before the match is starting to get really annoying. You get a 7, 8, 9-minute speech from Lana about how Americans suck and Vladimir Putin, and they changed the picture, by the way. Did you see that?
Yes, they did.
It used to be that picture where it was just like, and now it's like it's like a powerful, little more powerful picture. But
why don't they put the one of him on the horse with no shirt? That's the best picture.
I'm sure somebody will come up with that. Like,
yeah,
somebody who's trying to pull off the USA thing, like every jobber has so far. We'll come up with that where they say they show a powerful picture of Barack Obama, and then they show that picture of Putin of him sitting on the horse. But like I was saying before, the 7-minute speech before a 1-minute match is just getting really old.
Yeah, but for me, that's the best part of the match because I have no interest in Rusev. But when Lana put the pictures of Obama lifting those like 2.5-pound weights, that was awesome.
That was pretty funny.
But yeah, I could do. I mean, yeah.
And people want to get on Cena about his 5 moves of doom and all that stuff, but like literally every Rusev match so far has been the exact same thing, except for with Big E where he went a little bit longer.
He has like one move. He kicks somebody and then puts him in the acolyte.
Or the camel clutch.
And then that's it. Yeah. It's just like
it's getting really old and people don't enjoy it. And he's not going to get over it if he continues to do that. Maybe we see some sort of character change or maybe some sort of turn for Rusev in the future.
That pop for Rusev versus Roman Reigns in the Battle Royal.
Oh, yeah.
That was cool.
Was amazing.
It was only because of Roman Reigns.
Exactly. They were like, yeah, he's definitely going to win this.
Man, he is over right now.
Mm-hmm.
Huge. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw SmackDown last night, but the entire 4-on-3 match, he was waiting to be tagged in. And finally, with like 9:57, when SmackDown was almost over, he finally gets tagged in, and he goes crazy, and he beats up all 4 guys. He takes out Bray Wyatt on the outside, running around the ring, doing doing that thing that Corey just did that you guys can all see, thanks to the power of Ustream. Just doing that and getting the crowd all jacked up, and it's awesome to see what level he's at right now. And what are you laughing about?
This isn't PG, but I just got a tweet.
Oh my God.
Corey can see it, I can't, but you need to read it.
It says one of my favorite WWE crowd signs from WrestleMania. What is that? 18. I think they were supposed to write 18. I don't know what they write. X8.
Oh yeah, it was called X8.
18.
Yeah.
Okay. It says Goldust raped my dad.
Jesus Christ. Oh God.
Yep.
I don't
even know what to say.
Yeah. Leave that. Leave that there.
I'm speechless. Be a Stardust.
Be a Stardust. Yep. Anyways, on to another topic.
Yes. You have anything over there you wanted to discuss?
Brock Lesnar.
Yes, please.
Brock. Sorry, that really popped into that microphone. Huh? Sorry, guys.
My goodness, it scared the crap out of me. What about Brock Lesnar?
Could he possibly coming back for Money in the Bank, like at the end of the night?
I heard this. I'm sure you did too. I heard this on Cheap Heat, and there's so many possibilities for unwritten rules and crazy things to happen in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you listened to it too.
No.
But what if? John Cena was pinned by RVD at ECW One Night Stand.
Mm-hmm.
The referee was knocked out, and Paul Heyman came in and did the 3 count. What would happen if, say, Brock Lesnar just entered himself into the Money in the Bank ladder match out of nowhere, won the briefcases, and walked out. I mean, the titles and walked out.
Well, that'd be a problem for me because I don't like Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, so neither do I. But
who would he face against, though?
I don't know. Because obviously the next match he would be in would probably be SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Do we see Brock Lesnar at Money in the Bank?
I'd personally love it. I feel like I know people have a problem with him winning or breaking the streak and then being gone for months at a time, but I feel like he has carte blanche to do anything. He should always be in the title picture because he is. I mean, he broke the streak. He's unstoppable. So if he came
I couldn't
down,
agree with you more there, but for him to not appear for 4 months after breaking the streak would be ridiculous.
Yeah, you know what though? But everybody else in that match, it's like, save for I guess Roman Reigns, who I'd like to see him get a little more season before he became the top guy. You know, we've seen Cena as a champ literally 15 times. Everybody else, you know, I'm looking at your shirt. It's like all those guys that are in it.
It's a WrestleMania 29
or
shirt,
maybe
by the
just
way.
2 guys. But yeah, I think Brock should be champ. I mean, I don't know. No, I don't. Let me take that back. If he comes in, he needs to win it. I don't know. I haven't thought about that really. But
What happens if, let's say, Roman Reigns wins the titles, and Rollins has the briefcase but doesn't cash in? What happens at the end of Money in the Bank? What happens if Roman's holding the titles and Brock Lesnar's music hits? Do we see?
that would
see?
be unreal.
I
That
would
would be
freak out
so
at that
awesome.
Do we
point.
see
Come
a
on.
Roman Reigns Brock Lesnar feud?
That would be crazy.
Because I mean, Brock Lesnar is as big of a heel as you're going to get in the company, and Roman is as big of a face as you're going to get in the company right now. I think that would make some epic stuff.
It would.
Obviously, Brock. Where does that leave Seth Rollins or whoever wins the briefcase at the beginning of the show? If Brock Lesnar shows up and immediately throws himself back into the title picture, where does that leave the guy with the briefcase?
Well, Rollins can still feud with Ambrose,
True.
but
I mean, yeah, it doesn't have to be an instant cash in.
yeah.
It's over a year, right?
Right.
Mhm.
I want to change my mind. I want Roman Reigns to win it, and I think it'd be cool if he like cut his teeth feuding with maybe Orton, and then Triple H, and then Brock comes back, and then he feuds with Brock. I think that'd be really cool. It'd kind of maybe not parallel, but when Batista won the Royal Rumble and he was feuding with Triple H, it was kind of like the mentor-mentee. That's when he ascended to the next level, and I think if Roman was able to go through those 2 guys, and then, you know, at the end of the tunnel there being a Brock or something like that, I think that'd be pretty cool.
What if Cesaro won the titles and him and Brock Lesnar had a feud?
That's actually what I was talking to my mom
be
about
cool.
last night.
The 2 Paul Heyman guys going at it.
That'd be cool.
That's
And finally turned Cesaro face like he should be.
they had didn't they have Punk versus Brock last year at SummerSlam?
Was that last year or was that 2 years ago? I can't remember.
I think it was last
Last year was Cena Bryan at SummerSlam. I
and
don't
Punk Brock, right?
Was
Yeah,
it Punk Brock?
Punk Brock, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 Paul Heyman guys.
That's true. I don't know. We'll see. We all got to wait till a week from tomorrow at TD Garden for Money in the Bank. The first time ever Money in the Bank coming to Boston, which is super exciting. We had kind of broken that news, not necessarily us broken it, but I knew beforehand, before the WWE even announced it, because a friend of mine who's the producer for Felger and Maz on 98.5 The Sports Hub, Jimmy Stewart, who actually has his own podcast now, by the way, and he does it with Sean Grandy, the voice of the Boston Celtics, who is also a huge wrestling fan. Definitely check that out. It's only about 20 minutes, so it's not going to kill your time. But definitely go check that out at cbsbostonsports.com. Anyway, you're welcome for the plug, Jimmy. Jimmy told me that he has a lot of contacts with the Garden and WWE, and he told me that he told the person who's in charge of bidding for events and stuff like that to definitely bid for Money in the Bank, and apparently they did. So
Thank you.
Thanks, Jimmy.
I appreciate
Jay
it.
Stu.
Remember when he had Bully Ray on and said he wasn't athletic?
That was great.
That was hysterical. Oh, that was such a great
That was
interview.
so good.
I'm curious who's going to come into WAAF on Friday.
I know Hogan's going into the Sports Hub.
Is he?
He's going on Toucher and Rich in like
That's
a
so
week.
stupid. Why have Hulk
Why?
Hogan? I mean, I
Why?
understand it would be a great interview, but why have him plug Money in the Bank? when he hasn't been on TV since what, WrestleMania?
I guess maybe appealing to the casual fans. They hear Hulk Hogan,
Yeah.
If Dolph Ziggler goes on, who if you don't watch wrestling, who's going to know who Dolph Ziggler is? So
I was really bummed about that, by the way, last time. Ziggler was making the radio rounds, and he didn't come into AF.
Oh, yeah, he was on Touch and Rich, too,
Yeah.
Ziggy.
Apparently they didn't have him on, which I was not happy about, because he was one of the few guys I really wanted to meet from WWE. Excuse me. But usually WAF on the Hillman Morning Show, one of the stations I work for, usually has a WWE superstar or somebody from the company come in and kind of push the show. And I heard Michael Cole on SmackDown last night say that the sold-out Money in the Bank. So I don't think they're going to send somebody in to try to push ticket sales because apparently it's sold out.
True.
But I'm sure maybe they'll still send somebody in, because usually that's what they do is they try to get people to buy tickets to a Raw or a SmackDown or to whatever show is there. But this is going to be such a huge show that I would assume that it was probably sold out.
I know he said it was sold out, but right afterwards, during a commercial, because we get those Money in the Bank commercials, they said that tickets were still available.
Those commercials were produced like 4 months ago.
Yeah.
There was an ad on the radio the other day that was saying that Daniel Bryan was going to be there. So it's just, those ads are so old, and they don't get changed and updated, just like the rosters for the WWE video games.
I really hope D-Bride does not show up. I hope he's in Aberdeen rehabbing his neck.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, like I was saying, that commercial was probably produced about 3 months ago, where Bryan was in the picture for Money in the Bank, and yeah, I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll see. Maybe he'll make like a via satellite appearance or something from Aberdeen. I don't know. We'll see.
All right, I have a question.
Yes, Lee.
What happens if one guy grabs one title and another guy grabs another title?
No. Please don't split up the titles again.
What happens?
I cry.
Everybody cries.
Please no.
I've been clamoring for them to drop the World Heavyweight Championship belt for a long time, and drop the word heavyweight out of the picture and just call it the WWE World Championship or the WWE Championship, and just use that one WWE belt that I have really grown to like.
Mm-hmm.
Carrying around the two belts is stupid, but I mean, why do it so long if they're not planning on doing the split of the titles like you just said?
Mm-hmm.
Why continue to carry two belts around when you're not planning to have two guys grab two different belts? I mean, who knows what's going to happen? And if two guys grab those two belts, who are the two guys?
I'd say Bray Wyatt and John Cena.
Interesting.
I was going to say Cena and, just put the big gold one on Del Rio again, let him suck on a SmackDown. But it's I don't know. I know it's hard to look at the reality of WWE too much, but, you can't just all of a sudden grab the titles and be like, oh, yeah, now I'm the World Heavyweight Champion, even though they unified the titles. That doesn't make sense.
That's going to put Triple H and the Authority into an odd situation for Raw, and to kind of come out at the beginning and explain what happened or what's going to happen. What happens if Roman Reigns grabs the belts? Does the Authority have something to do with that on Monday? Do they strip him too?
Well, he wasn't even
because he wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah, and what Seth Rollins says something about,
and Vicky Guerrero probably fired because of it.
Oh yeah, she'll definitely be fired.
I don't know. Do you think they'll try to pull some shenanigans like that?
That would be awful. We just had a whole year of them screwing over a guy. We need to catch our breath.
Right.
If he pulls him down, I think he has to stay the champion.
If that does happen and the Authority tries to strip Roman Reigns or whoever wins the title and try to put it back on Orton, do we see finally a Vince McMahon appearance?
Oh, please.
That would be amazing.
To overrule whatever decision was made?
Oh, that would be phenomenal. I'd love that.
Where is Raw after Money in the Bank, by the way? Do you know?
Good question.
It's got to be fairly local.
Yeah. Probably Rhode Island or Connecticut.
Well, Rhode Island, they just had a house show last night.
I don't know. It's a good question.
I don't know. Lee's looking it up, I think.
I'll look it up right now.
Like you said, over the last year, we've had nothing but the Authority just trying to screw people over and screw Daniel Bryan over. And they did it for, 6 months? From SummerSlam 8 months. From SummerSlam to WrestleMania. And we don't need a recycle of that storyline. We don't need to see them showing that they're the almighty and powerful and screwing over somebody that they don't want to hold the titles other than Randy Orton.
Especially because with D-Bry, he's a B+ player. Reigns is obviously an A+ player.
Mm-hmm.
And like with the Authority or Vince's feud with Stone Cold, he was the anti-hero guy.
Mm-hmm.
Reigns is kind of like doesn't fit in either of those molds, so I don't think it would really work as well.
Yeah, I mean, for the last couple months, I mean, between Triple H and Evolution and the Authority, they've been trying to screw over all the Shield members. So I mean,
True.
It wouldn't shock me if it did happen, but I'm really hoping that it doesn't.
Yeah, it would just be another rehash of them screwing people, which is getting old.
Mm-hmm. Did you find it?
Hartford, Connecticut.
Hartford,
There you
Connecticut,
go.
the old arena at Harbor Yard. I think it's Arena at Harbor Yard. I think that's what it is.
It's XL Center.
Oh well, I'm wrong again. Oh, you said it's in Hartford?
Yeah,
Okay. I wonder how far that is from here. Was that like 2 hours?
I think so.
Road trip. Yeah, I wish I could go to that, but I can't. That would be fun. Let's see. We're on 50 minutes right now. You guys have any other points we'd like to make before we wrap this up?
I guess we can quickly go over the tag match. Who think's going to win that?
Yes. And who are the entrants in the tag match at Money in the Bank?
Oh, it's Usos and the Wyatt.
Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and the Wyatt family.
Usos and the rest of the Wyatt family minus Bray Wyatt.
Mm-hmm.
Does Bray Wyatt win the world titles and
Ooh, then they have that little,
and the other members of the
a
Wyatt
little
family have the
belted
tag
faction.
gold? Ooh.
Yeah, I like that.
Uh,
Ooh, I like that.
I don't see Bray Wyatt winning, but maybe Luke Harper and Eric Rowan winning tag titles.
I don't know what was going on with Bray Wyatt at SmackDown last night, but he seemed like he was just kind of an afterthought.
Yeah.
Where at the beginning of SmackDown, 6 of the guys came out, and like you know how they always do it, where one guy comes out, he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna win," and then the next guy music hits, and he comes out, and the next
Yeah.
guy's music hits, and he comes out. Bray Wyatt never came out at the beginning.
Yeah, I watched that too. I thought during the schmoz that it'd be, and the lights would go out and he'd be beaten on scene in the ring, but
Right.
nothing happened. I don't
And
know
then
what happened.
at the end of the SmackDown for the 7-man tag match, Bray Wyatt just had his and then he appeared. He didn't have his entrance like all the other guys did. So I'm not sure what's going on with that right now. I don't know if that's a sign or it's just
Could be.
really bad editing. I don't know.
Resting up for a ladder match, probably.
Maybe.
Could be. I hope they're not going to make him an afterthought.
No, they worked
No,
too hard on
definitely
him.
not.
You can't have a 5-month feud or however long with Cena.
Right. Which got him nowhere, by the way.
Yeah, that once
Cena won
got
2 of the matches.
whole world. After that, it just completely jumped the shark.
Uh-huh.
Cena won 2 of the matches. The last one, he threw audio equipment on him and prevented him from getting up for a 10 count. And then Bray was gone for a week. And it's, where does that leave him now? And Cena doesn't need that to benefit him, yet he always ends up winning stupid matches like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
Not a fan.
I'm gonna say that the Usos win that match, just because I like them.
Mm.
That's it.
How many legit tag teams do we have in WWE right now?
Usos,
Besides guys who are just kind of thrown
Wyatts.
together.
2.
Is Ryback thrown together?
I mean, they've been a tag team for a while.
Yeah, those 3.
They were Paul Heyman guys. That's
Yeah.
why they got together.
Who else is there? There's one more. I can't think of who. Oh, Los Matadores.
Stardust and Goldust.
Yeah, the Dust Brothers.
Dust Brothers.
What should we call them? We got to come up with a name for them. Dust Brothers?
Yeah. Dust Bros.
Dust Busters?
Dustbusters.
Gold
Star.
Gold Star. Ooh, I like that. Nice.
I still love the Brotherhood. I think that was the sweetest name.
They missed the boat with that big time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, why didn't they have a match at WrestleMania?
Those two, they wanted it to happen, and it would have been a great opportunity to put Cody over big time to defeat Goldust at WrestleMania, defeat his brother, and all of a sudden they were in the pre-show in the Fatal 4-Way tag match.
Yeah.
And it was such a waste of space.
Although if the payoff is Stardust and Goldust, I don't know if I have a problem with it.
This is also true. I like we've discussed already today. I really, really enjoy that character. I laughed my ass off when I saw him, and it just Cody in that leather suit and the gold paint on his face and the shitting grin he had on. I think he fits that character great. I'm looking forward to see what they do with it. Hopefully they're not jobbing to other tag teams in the future.
I can't imagine.
Because Goldust is as good, if not better, than he ever was.
He's as good.
Right
Yeah,
now.
he's as good as he's ever been. He's in as good of shape as he's ever been.
He's never been tall and skinny like he is right now.
No, yeah, he's looking good.
I've been very impressed with Goldust since he's come back. He's come back a few times. He's been a surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble a few times.
Then there was Goldust and Vader versus, it was supposed to be Stone Cold. Remember, there was a Jonathan Coachman feud.
Oh God, yes.
But then Stone Cold, they didn't give him enough money, so he's not here. Here's Batista.
How many times did Steve Austin walk out on something?
That's at least that time, and the Lesnar times at least two.
He walked out for 8 months?
Yeah.
But with the whole Lesnar thing, he didn't want to put him over.
He didn't want to put him over with no. I guess there was no advertising for the match. They were just going to have him lose on Raw to Lesnar, which he didn't like.
Yeah.
He does say it's the biggest mistake of his career.
Mm-hmm. I mean, hopefully CM Punk someday will say the same thing about what he did, because the guy was clearly still in his prime. Obviously, he was hurting, and I guess the elbow drop he did to Undertaker at WrestleMania 29 on the announce table when it didn't break.
To see live.
He said that did more damage than anyone will ever know to his leg.
Imagine.
When the table doesn't break, you just know it hurts.
And he landed right in that perfect spot where the corner of the table hit on the side of his knee, which I thought instantly when I was watching. I was like, oh shit!
I thought it was
ACL
broken.
or broken something.
Yeah. So I know he walked out, but I'm sure he's so beat up. I mean, after that Taker match, he took 3 or 4 weeks off. I thought he'd take at least a couple months.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he wasn't allowed to take that much time off because he was one of the main event players at the time. Vince is probably, you got to get back on TV there, punk. I don't know. That's my really bad Vince impression. It was all right. Can't complain. You got something?
I was going to switch subjects, but
Yes,
if you
go
guys
ahead.
want to continue.
No, go ahead.
NXT.
Yes.
Who do you see coming up?
Tyler Breeze. Sami Zayn.
Sammy.
Either one of those two.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Ascension tag team.
My boy
maybe?
Adrian Neville.
Your cuz, yeah.
Well, when do they have the Tyler Breeze versus Adrian Neville match for the NXT Championship?
When do they or did they?
When do they?
Probably the next.
I don't
Or
know.
actually,
Is it going to be on regular
Aren't they only
NXT?
quarterly?
It's once every 3 months.
That's too far away.
Yeah.
If they do it the next
So I guess
special
I'll have to
event.
have it on
the
at some
actual
point.
NXT show on Thursdays.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
But hopefully they give Tyler Breeze the title, and then Adrian Neville can switch gears to Raw.
David Shoemaker made a point. I'm trying to remember what it was, but he's. Oh no, it was the guy that was on with them.
Oh,
it was Goldstein.
Goldstein, yeah.
He made a point saying that the battle royal for the world title, Money in the Bank ladder match to get in. He said that everyone except for RVD in that match was NXT product.
That's right. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So it's clearly showing that WWE really doesn't care too much about other promotions like Ring of Honor or New Japan or anything like that, and they're strictly going with people from NXT. Whether they get them from other promotions and put them through NXT first, that's clearly what they're going for right now. I forget how many people were in that Battle Royal, but he said that everyone but RVD was an NXT product.
And I think he also said that everybody released was like an FCW or OVW guy, except for one guy was an NXT guy. I forget who it was.
Camacho.
Yeah, Camacho.
And yeah, and that was pretty shocking too, because he was a pretty prominent player in NXT at the time.
He was doing pretty well.
Well, it's amazing to see what WWE is doing with their facilities in Florida, and I don't know, the company has a great future, just as long as it's not run into the ground by somebody.
Yeah. Although one thing I heard, maybe downside, I think it was also on Shoemaker's podcast, was that just all those guys working the same style, won't be as diverse as, Jericho coming from Japan, D-Bry from Japan, guys from Mexico. So, I don't know.
As long as they're still taking guys from those promotions and putting them through NXT first.
I guess that's true.
If they develop a style and then kind of hone it in NXT and then go up to the main roster, that's great. But if they're just pulling guys off the streets and training them to be pro wrestlers and just like collegiate wrestlers or ex-football
Yeah.
players or stuff like that, and then just throwing it into NXT and then bringing them up. I think that's stupid.
Might get a little homogenized there.
Right. And just, as long as we see some different styles, I mean, there is no more style that's more fun to watch than somebody like Daniel Bryan. Where,
Yeah.
granted, yeah, he's injury prone, like they say about Dolph Ziggler, but there's nothing more fun about watching a guy do like a suicide dive out to the to the outside, or doing the running knees to the corner and landing on his back, and it's the super high intensity, fast paced style that everybody loves to watch. Not everybody likes to see the methodical wrestling match like we used to see with like Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit and guys like that. A lot of people you're going to gain more viewership. Like last night, there was a Seth Rollins Kofi Kingston match, and that was fun to watch.
Oh,
Even though they
fun.
didn't really do too many high flying tricks or anything like that, but it was still fun to watch because you know the potential of these guys, and you know what they can do, and you're going to watch the match to see what they do.
Do-do.
You said do.
We're 5. All right, woman coming up.
Charlotte probably.
Yeah, let's say Charlotte.
Do you think her dad is going to be ringside with her when
I
she
do
comes
know.
up?
I do know that every time Ric Flair is mentioned, we always get a woo from Corey.
Yep.
I do
That's
know
why I
that
didn't
they're
say Ric Flair.
You can't hide it on me. Don't try to hide the ball. I'll always get my woo in.
I do know that they're trying to bring back Ric Flair in some sort of capacity. He wants to work with Ziggler, and they're not letting him do it, which is driving me insane because that would be so awesome.
It would.
Putting Dolph Ziggler with Ric Flair, how awesome would that be? But apparently WWE is not letting him do it. I don't know. They're really missing the ball with this kid, and when he's gone, they're going to be so sad.
Please.
I don't know when his contract is up or how much time he has left or what kind of contract he's on, but if I'm him, I'm out. I'm out when that's over.
Yeah, absolutely.
Indie scene for him.
Clearly,
ROH.
Thrive.
You'd crush
he'll
ROH.
kill it.
Definitely.
He'll kill ROH. He'll probably kill himself in ROH because,
Yeah.
Most
because
likely.
that style is nuts. And
Yep.
if you listen to JR's podcast, he's always complaining about that style. It's like these guys got to slow it down or they're going to kill themselves, which is true, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But
Ziggler has the best entranceway taunt, too. I love that.
Yep.
the Ash. Just everything about Ziggler is great.
Yeah,
His
it's
look
great.
is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't digging the bleached hair when he first did it. Remember when he was feuding with Zack Ryder? Remember he cut his hair like super short,
Get the Brown Boys regular.
Yep.
Yeah, it was awful.
and that was pretty funny. But when he started growing it back out again, and it looked like exactly like Mr. Perfect's hair, and he's got the look. He's a lady killer, you know that. He's got the perfect theme song too. It has a great beginning to
I love
it.
that song.
I'm here to show. You know, it's perfect beginning. Everybody knows what's going to happen. The whole pink theme that he's got going on, which is great. Just everything about him, except for his name, which is horrific. Everything about him is great.
I love that entry he does to the ring. He like slides on to the
Oh,
corner.
yeah.
That's super, super sweet, too.
That just reminded me. Where's the Miz?
Wasn't he supposed to come back last week
I don't know.
on
Was
Raw because it was in Ohio?
I don't know. But Dolph got a huge pop last week.
Yeah, he
Yes,
did.
he did.
I mean, he gets a huge pop pretty much every week.
Yeah.
And for some reason, Creative just doesn't acknowledge it, or Vince doesn't acknowledge it, or whoever's making the decision to keep him down just doesn't acknowledge it, and I just don't get what they're doing.
Oh, talking about writers, the head writer was actually just fired.
I heard that, and there was a quote somewhere that said he was fired because he had no knowledge of the product. How do you become the head
hire
writer
him?
of
Why hire
WWE
him?
if you
I
don't
don't-
have knowledge of the product?
I don't know.
That's sad to hear.
I mean,
that
between
they-
the three of us, we could write a show.
Exactly. And everyone would love it.
Right. And the entire IWC would love it, and the ratings
Mm-hmm.
would be off the charts, and
We'd be millionaires.
we'd be millionaires.
Let's do it. Start our own promotion.
Starting your own promotion, that's a different story.
Mm-hmm.
Ask Dixie Carter and
Oh, God.
what's going on with Jeff Jarrett's new promotion? Is there any sort of debut?
I haven't heard much about that.
What is it
haven't
called
heard.
again? It's Global Wrestling something?
Something like that. Federation or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
No
We'll see how
idea.
that goes. Maybe Ziggler end up there. Who knows? But we're on about an hour and 4 minutes right now, so well done, guys.
I got one more thing to add. I want to completely shift my fantasy booking for Money in the Bank.
What do you got?
Bo Dallas enters the Money in the Bank briefcase, wins that. Then he cashes in that night.
Oh, God.
Guys, I did it! I'm your champion! Would love to see that.
When you just did that voice, it reminded me of something, and I'm trying to figure out what it is.
Mr. Hankey?
That's exactly who it was. Hi, Mr. Hankey, the Christmas poo. God, please, no. Please, no.
Please, yes.
I can't wait till he starts feuding with his brother.
Oh, God, please, no. Oh, Dallas. I get the gimmick. He's supposed to be a slightly more talkative version of what Chris Jericho was when he came back a couple years ago. When he was
so funny.
When he would come out and he'd grab the microphone and then he'd go to say something, he'd drop it and then walk out of the ring. He'd be like, "Yeah, baby!"
Grab the camera, like, "Yeah, baby, yeah!"
Just like super
so
positive, but he was a
funny.
super heel at the same time.
That was so good.
I don't know. I just don't get the gimmick with Bo Dallas.
I love his gimmick. The super face who everyone hates.
Yeah.
Self-aware Cena. Or not non-self-aware.
Non-self-aware Cena.
Yeah.
That's great. I don't know. Anything else to add, Lee?
I got nothing over here.
Corey?
All good.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap up this episode of the After the Bell podcast. You guys can follow us on Twitter if you don't already at ATBWrestling. You guys can go to ATBWrestling.com and click the ATB Live. Corey's doing the Stardust thing over here. You can click the ATB Live link at the top of the page to watch us on Ustream next week, wherever we may be, whether it be here in the ATB studio or whether it be on the road somewhere outside the Garden. Who knows? I'm still working on that. Either way, we're going to be outside the Garden somewhere, and I'd like to get some audio from fans on their predictions for the show, and then I'll kind of make some sort of mashup thing afterwards to see how correct these people were. And I was thinking about this last night. Maybe we ask 5 fans and get predictions for each of their. It's kind of complicated, but get predictions for each of their thoughts on each match at Money in the Bank, and keep track of who they predicted and like get some contact info from them.
Yeah.
And whoever gets the most right points wise, we'll send them a T-shirt.
Ooh, I like
Sounds
that.
good.
So it's a little complicated, but we'll figure it out. Anyway, like I said, you guys can follow us at ATB Wrestling. You guys can watch us on Ustream next week if you go to atbwrestling.com and click the ATB Live link at the top of the page. You could follow me on Twitter at Bill_Neville. Lee, where can we find you again?
At heel_LCM.
Heel_LCM. Just kidding. Corey, where can we find you?
And you can find me in the same cadence as CM Punk at CT Ponce.
Now you're confusing the hell out of people. CM Punk Ponce.
CM Punk, CT Punk Ponce is it. At that.
Figured out. CT Ponce. And until next week for our Money in the Bank preview show, thank you guys for listening on Ustream. Thank you guys for downloading us on iTunes or Stitcher, however you may be listening to us right now. And we will see you next week on the After the Bell podcast.